Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. The market is looking like it's going to consolidate a bit. We do have an ETF ruling in the next 36 hours, I believe. So that could definitely send cryptocurrency prices, significantly towards the upside or downside. We could also stay somewhat flat. So it's very hard to predict where we're going to be heading. What we do know is a lot of cryptos are setting up for some consolidation right now. And we also got a little bit of a pullback over the last 24 hours. Nothing major, but definitely a bit of a pullback. And what I wanted to mention is if we look at the actual price action, we're seeing, once again, some signs that I would consider to be manipulation. Now, typically what we've been seeing, and this has been going on for weeks now, and we're seeing it just constantly, is basically, a big jump out of nowhere. So we had one just yesterday, basically, right, where in less than 30 minutes, we got a huge spike upwards, and then we, basically consolidated a little bit, maybe fell just a bit lower, and all of a sudden got a huge drop in less than 30 minutes, right? So these patterns basically wipe out. We take one step forward and one step back, meaning that we're not really advancing in either direction clearly, right? I think that's exactly what's happening, and you can see this pattern in a lesser version on other crypto charts. Now, the ETF ruling that will be coming in the next 36 hours. Will it be good for Bitcoin or altcoins? Will it make them drop? Of course, it depends on if it gets approved or not. If it's not approved, which is, let's say likely considering the fact that we haven't gotten approved yet, then I think Bitcoin is definitely going to pull back more, and altcoins could also suffer pretty badly, especially maybe, 2 to 3 days afterwards, right? So we have to be careful because altcoins are in a less stable position than Bitcoin right now. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live crypto market updates. Link to that in the description of this video. But let's go ahead and jump into the technical analysis for Bitcoin. So my predictions have been very accurate for the time being. I said that we were going to get a jump up to the downtrend line, maybe test $6,800. That's exactly what happened. And then we pull back lower again. That's exactly what my prediction was, right? So now I think that, maybe with the ETF ruling, we could start moving back down towards 6,000 Satoshis. Our critical level that we want to stay above is our uptrend line, and that's $6,000 mark. So basically, if we move below that, we're going to be heading down to our next support level at $5,000. So 6K is the critical support level with its uptrend line, and that's what we want to stay above, right? Like I said, it's very hard to know for sure where we're going to be heading next. But for now, the signs are pointing towards consolidation, right? We have flattening out on the indicators, and we're in a symmetrical triangle formation. We're in a range as well, and we have a pretty tight range that's consolidating towards the price from the Bollinger Bands. So everything is pointing towards consolidation. We are slowly approaching the end of the formation. At that point, that is the most likely area where we're going to see, a break either way to set the trend from there. Up until then, could we get a move out of the symmetrical triangle earlier? It is possible, but there's no way to predict that 100%, and especially with these wild cards like the ETF ruling. Now, moving over to Ethereum, it dropped below its $273 support level. Definitely bearish, not liking this at all. Could mean that altcoins are going to fall lower again. Wouldn't be surprised. Indicators now weakening. I think that Ethereum is going to head down to $220 in the next week or two. So I think that we're going to get a pretty sharp drop here. Could also mean that we're going to get another ETF rejection. Once again, that would not be surprising, and that would, I think, definitely push Ethereum and other altcoins down lower. So I think $220 within the next 2 weeks at the most is what's going to happen next. And then, we're probably going to consolidate, reach the end of the triangle formation, see if we can get a breakout towards the upside there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin, see what's going on. So Litecoin, very flat right now, not really doing much. I still think that Litecoin is could very easily move back towards $45. Hasn't actually tested that support level, so that's, I think, what's next up. Pretty similar to Ethereum in that sense. And you'll see that a lot of altcoins are actually like that, especially the ones that didn't actually test their next support levels. Now, Nano, holding up better than most here, actually somewhat increasing, definitely has a little bit of uptrend going on. I think that, maybe we'll be able to test our support level at 3,600 Satoshis, but I'm only expecting so much here. I think that it is good that it's getting a reversal, but I don't think that it's going to become one of the most bullish altcoins or anything like that for the time being. So even if we do get a little more upside, I'm just not convinced that we're going to hold this uptrend. So I'd say, we're still in this position where we're trying to see how much we can hold up above 20,000 Satoshis, right? Any move below that is going to start pushing us back towards 10,000 Satoshis. Let's go ahead, take a look at Ripple, see what's going on. So we're going to move over to the, move over to the Binance chart here. Now, Ripple is moving back towards its 30-cent support level. We're in this bigger range between 25 cents and 40 cents. So, for now, that's the range that I expect us to trade in. Definitely looking like we could get some consolidation here, but we also have a certain amount of weakness, nothing major for now. Wouldn't be surprised though if we tested 25 cents in the next week or so. Let's go ahead, take a look at NEO, see what's going on. So we're going to move over to the Bittrex chart here. NEO is currently moving back slowly but surely towards its $13.11 support level. We didn't actually test that level, so that's what's next up, I believe. And once again, the time range for that would be about week or maybe 2 weeks at the most, really. But pretty soon here, I think that's coming up. Let's go ahead, take a look at EOS, see what's going on. So moving over to the EOS chart, we can see that it is also moving lower. We're going to reach the end of this immediate term triangle formation, and I honestly think that there's a pretty fair chance that EOS actually ends up moving down to 5,400 Satoshis next. I think that altcoins right now are not looking the strongest, and that tells me two things. That probably altcoins are gonna go down here in the short term no matter what, and Bitcoin could either get a strong bull run, for example, from an ETF approval, where altcoins would probably drop because they're unable to keep up with the Bitcoin momentum. The money would be flowing in too much into Bitcoin, and that on the flip side, Bitcoin could also drop, which would not be good for altcoins either, really. So altcoins are in a situation where I think we're basically the only path right now in the short term is towards the downside, right? Some will hold up better than others, but I still think that we're going to get a drop here in the altcoin market. Bitcoin, kind of a wild card right now. Let's go ahead, take a look at Stellar Lumens. Moving over to the Binance chart once again, moving towards its yellow uptrend line. Important area that is, also with that 3,000 Satoshi support level. So those are the two critical support levels that we do not want to move below. If we do, we're going to be heading towards 2,500 Satoshis next. And hopefully we can stay in the symmetrical triangle formation and just slowly but surely move towards the end of that formation. But it isn't guaranteed right now, right? Because of how the market is acting. Let's go ahead to take a look at Lisk. Lisk is one of the cryptos, altcoins, I should say, that's been, it was very weak. It was able to get a bounce. Some of these altcoins that are weak for a long time are able to get a bit of a revival. That also happened to Nano, as we saw, and Nano and Lisk were some of the weakest altcoins out there. So holding up pretty well, but we did face resistance from the upper Bollinger Band. I think that maybe we'll be able to consolidate around here, around $3.50, but I could also very well see us moving back towards our $2.50 support level. I think that moving above our resistance level is too premature at this point. Let's go ahead, take a look at Cardano, see what's going on. So Cardano is moving now clearly down to its next support level at 1,254 Satoshis. I've been predicting this for quite some time now, and it just seems inevitable at this point. We can see that that's where it wants to head. So that's where I think we're going to get maybe some kind of bounce, some kind of stabilization. But until then, that's going to be where we're heading next, towards the downside at that support level. Hopefully we'll be able to stabilize and then move towards our triangle formation. At that point, maybe we'll get an opportunity to move higher again. But for now, it's still looking like we're heading towards the downside. As for the indicators, looking very weak here, especially over the last week or so. Let's go ahead, take a look at IOTA for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. IOTA is currently right around 46 cents. I think it's going to follow a similar pattern to Cardano, moving down towards next support level at 33 cents. Also seems kind of inevitable at this point. We never actually tested that level, and we're seeing, the weakness come in. So that's where I think we're heading next. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.